Okay, everybody, Meta Madness is starting up and it's going to be hype. We are in the group stage, Group A right now, where we have Team Hasu, Team Xray, Team Mene, and Team Black Kidney going up against each other. All of those games are best of 3 series, and if you're not really familiar with Meta Madness just yet, it's a tournament system that is designed to push the teams a bit out of their comfort zone, and we are doing that by banning out a bunch of heroes. So we actually have 13 heroes already banned for the group stage. At the main event it will be even more. The heroes that are globally banned at this point are Diablo, D.Va, Medivh, Cassia, Brightwing, Abathar, Johanna, Ana, Chromie, Imperius, Liming, Urel, and Tracer. And every single hero that is being picked in this series is banned for the rest of the series, meaning all the 10 heroes that you will see in game number 1 cannot be played in game number 2 or potential game number 3 anymore, and so on and so forth. So it is going to be pretty epic and should be tons of fun here. And yeah, we will see. Bans, by the way, they don't really playing a role here, so ETC gets banned for our first one. So of course also one of those setups where all of the team captains have to make sure that they are not making any huge mistakes and keep track on what's being banned and what isn't. Hogger gets banned. Yep, we kept him in. And I'm especially excited since Cursed Hollow is an amazing map. I love Cursed Hollow games, so I'm pretty hyped that we're starting with that already. Big shout out also to Hitech, the sponsor of the event. Hitech, always an awesome partner to work with. And again, guys, if you want to support the event a little bit, if you're watching this on YouTube, for example, I will drop a link to the Hitech website into the YouTube video description. Do me a favor. Take the second, click the link. If they see that a lot of people from the tournament check out the website and just interact a little bit with it, that's all that really matters there. So you don't have to go on a huge shopping spree or anything, but any kind of support here is going to be highly appreciated, since it's going to make it easier for me in the future to set up more tournaments with Hitech and also other sponsors. Just click the link. It's going to be 2 seconds for you, but it has actually a pretty big impact. Yeah, pretty big impact also has the Maiev when it's played by Ultralist, so that gets banned out. We got the ban on Deathwinger as well, and with that we're coming to our first pick, which automatically means that that hero is not going to be available in the next series anymore. So let's have a bit of a look. What's the first one? Alright. Stukov in this case gets already taken out. And now, yeah, Stukov is actually, again, he was first really heavily played in the Korean tournament that we casted. Koreans heavily diving onto him. That was even before the medallion was removed, and now he is still super strong, especially since Varian and a couple of other heroes that are really good with their lockdown are fantastic openers for Stukov to follow up on, and then he can just burn the target away. Alright, we got actually Uther and Sonya immediately picked. For Cursed Hollow, that's honestly interesting, because now with the setup that they are playing right here, we have with Sonya a hero that would be very happy over Divine Shield. Khaldor, by the way, is Skynox, and Tracer, who you see on the left side, is Nintori, one of the NA players that made it into Meta Madness. Now, all of these teams have been determined by a captain's draft, so there was a player pool that everybody could apply for, and then the captains were choosing it. And, well, I just talked about Varian, and guess what? There he is. So, Varian gets picked, so does Leo, and that already tells us pretty much, I don't want to say all that we need to know here, but obviously the game plan is clear. They want to come in with Varian, hit the taunt, follow up with Stukov, and what they then need is extra damage. Now, you can play that with a Grey main if you want. A Liming behind it is absolutely fantastic. Tychus, with the bigger they are, can already help to drop the hit point pool very quickly. That's the main reason why he gets banned out by Team Xray. But the core part of the comp is already there. Now, you could also follow this up with a Jaina, for example. There's plenty of heroes that provide enough burst damage to take the target down quickly. But as you can see, the Uther pick on the other side for Team Xray is now fulfilling multiple purposes. First of all, you're in a situation where you can empower whichever bruiser or melee assassin you have at the front, Sonya for example, but also you can save the target. And once the combo is actually gone, it's much easier to engage into the variant composition. So Uther will play a huge role here. And they're banning out Vala, and we also have, as you can see, the ban against Tychus for reasons mentioned. The bigger they are, just a bit too strong. Tyrael, alright, so we got Tyrael in this case also being played, which means that in the next map he is going to be banned too. Same is true also for Sylvanas. So another 2 that get eliminated here. And with that we have the final 2 picks in game number 1 for Team HasuObs. I don't even know what Hasu himself is going to play. They need damage, obviously. It's going to be interesting also what Nintori is going to play. And again, Nintori is playing from North America, meaning that he is going to have a ping disadvantage. since, of course, all of these games are played out on the European server. So for Hasu, also not really a big shocker. Xray, I already talked about him a little bit. Definitely a hero that was to be expected after they went into the variant setup. But that leaves us with Blade. They still need someone on the side lane for the team, and who's it gonna be? Blade could go into a Blaze setup together with Tyrael if they wanted. They have Sonya, that's true, but I think a triple melee isn't out of the question here. And they go Mephisto instead. Alright, way more aggressive than I honestly expected here. But yeah, happy with that. Yeah, that's our setup. Game number 1. Meta Madness is kicking off with our first best of 3 here today. So let's jump straight into Cursed Hollow and check out which team is going to take the victory here. Game on! Game number 1 in Meta Madness, and we are kicking things off with Cursed Hollow. Team Hasu against Team Xray on the first map, and over to the left side, it's Ultralisk on Xray. We have Backhold on Varian. They're trying to go for the sniper composition here. With Nintori on the account Tracer playing Leoric in our first game. Death Knight on Stukov, and Hasu himself, the captain. On Sergeant Hammer, the German with the Panzer once again. On the right side of the map, we got Xray's team with Xray himself on Tyrael, Blade on Sonya, Svamgrota on Mephisto, Kelvin is playing Sylvanas in our first game, and Skynox on the Khaldor account is playing Uther. Alright, time to party! Let's see what we're gonna get here. I'm already interested. I mean, it's really going to be interesting to see how much success the blue team is going to have with this variant Stukov composition, considering that Uther on the other side will go into a Divine Shield at level 10 and then try to keep everyone alive. So that's definitely something to keep your eye on, for sure. Now we have at the bottom of the map, that's where Tyrael is currently playing against Leo. In the middle of the map, immediate some action against Uther, and Skynox is about to... Oh, what? Alright, that's one way to start the game. 9 hit points, maybe even 8, and he makes it out. Okay. That was a close call, but at the same time, Svamgrota, he escapes as well. What's happening here? We are starting with some really nice aggression in the mid lane, but both of the targets are able to make it out. That's exactly what we want to see here, though. Yeah, for the red team, that also means that they gotta be real careful how they play this out, because they could always lose a hero or two in a situation like this. Now Stukov is already starting to work on the camp. The first tribute spawns at the top side, so they are deciding to take this one or two. Death Knight is a bit low and needs to be really careful here. I'm not sure if this is gonna work out for him. Death Knight, come on baby. Sylvanas has taken the Siege Time camp, and here comes Xray to help the Admiral out, or that would have been pretty dicey for him. So either way, now we got Blade and his boys starting to go for the next camp too. So far not a single kill in the game, but at the top you can see that HasuObs is now facing off against Uther, and well, that little bookworm over here can't really do a whole lot, because Sergeant Hammer is just a little bit too tough in that situation and was able to drop one of the turrets down to half HP as is. Now that we have Varian on level 4, that means that we're going to see some taunts. There it is. They're making a play for Svamgrota, but he makes it past the wall, and even the cocktail attempt by Xray is not able to take him down. But of course, the danger is there. Sylvanas trying with the defense as the two camps collide. Good timing on the camp, particularly from Team Xray. They have an easier time defending now. Top side is now Sergeant Hammer against Blade, so it's a little bit more of a fair setup, since Uther was definitely needed in the middle of the map to try and keep the targets of Varian Taunt alive. Alright, we're off to a good start for our first game here today. Now again, as I explained a bit earlier, but I want to just quickly go over this again, we are in the group stage. This is Group A that we're looking at right now. And the groups are, in the groups we determine the seeding for the main event. So we're going for a GSL style group. We have Hasu against Xray now, later on Mane versus Kidney. And then the winners are playing against each other, the losers are playing each other, and there is a consolation match to determine second place. But there we go, first tribute is up, Blade wants to get out, and this time it's not happening. Nintori with a kill. Nicely done, the NA player with a really good move here. He gets the kill, they are saving Sylvanas. But here comes another attack as the taunt is true. They try to follow up on it, but Uther is able to move out. Hasu's team is able to lock in the first tribute. Hasu himself nearly dying to Svamkrota over here. But of course, level 7 talents are going to change things a bit, since then we're gonna have the hovering siege mode, which is one of the most important tools for Sergeant Hammer in the first place. Yeah, in addition to that, there is a level 7 kicking in for Team Xray, which also gives them the swift retribution for Tyrael, so that one's going to be quite helpful for heroes like Sonya and Sylvanas as the game continues. Hasu now has the added mobility through his level 7 talent. And when we're taking a quick look towards the Furious Spark, Static Barrier, and the Trickery for Mephisto, but at the top lane, they're trying to go for the trap. We're already sniffed out. Backhul saw all of this coming, so not a big problem. Guardian of the Ancient Kings coming in on level 7 for Uther, by the way, which makes a whole lot of sense. Now again, you have to think about what exactly is this composition on Team Hasu's side supposed to do, and Uther coming in with the Guardian of Ancient Kings is incredibly powerful to keep the target of the combo alive. So this is what they're trying to do with their entire setup. Keep the target alive and then turn the fight against them. Then come in and try to drop them as you can. Interrupt attempt is a bit too late. Xray and his boys, they rotate too late. That's 2 tributes against 1 now. Sorry, against 0 for Team Hasu. So they can dictate the pace over the next tribute and see what they can do there. Backward threatening Kelvin for a moment at the top side. But he's still able to make it out. Good opening though. Bit of a lead for Hasu's team. They have 2 tributes to 1, so they have now the choice whether or not they want to fight over the next one. Whereas Team Xray, of course, has to go for it. It would be the 3rd. Bosses are now up, now that we're 5 minutes into the game. And with Sylvanas on the side of Team Xray, we're seeing the blue team immediately double-checking if anybody is making an early attempt for it. Now, they themselves also got a decent setup, simply because Greymane is going to be great in that position. Backhul over here, taking some damage. Nothing too insane, but yeah, walked right through them. And he has the level 10 abilities, and that could be a curse. The timing couldn't be more perfect. Half a level is still missing for Team Xray. So now we got the Bullet, the BFG, and also the Entomb, and that looks pretty good. Whereas, yeah, Xray's team, they decided that they would simply go for boss. There's very little else to do. They can't fight over the tribute. They have to accept that there's going to be a curse. So the only real thing that they can do is get a boss and then send it on its merry way at the top side, just to at least have some counter pressure. But it also means that their bot lane is going to be absolutely murdered right now. A lot of momentum for Team Hasu. They're playing this quite nicely. Waves are being taken down too. Leo gets attacked in the mid lane as he was diving behind the fort to take this one out as well. And Intori survives here. He has finally the level 10 abilities for Team Xray, and that allows them to come easily into the defense at the bottom of the map. Divine Shield is in, as we expected. So it's going to be tough for a quick kill on Team Hasu's side. That counterplay during the draft with the pick into Uther is definitely going to have an impact on how this is going to be played out from the blue team side. And they're not getting too much more now out of the objective. They took the bottom fort down, they took the top fort out. Of course, at the top lane, not much has happened because the boss was barreling through the gates here. But the fight at the bottom, that's a different story. Here comes the attack. Blessed Shield hasn't been used, but the Sanctification is out as they are trying to get the kill against Nintori's Leo. And they're getting close, but he is able to survive. Xray was thinking about jumping in too, but they have to send someone into the mid lane to soak up the experience that is currently on the ground here. In terms of the damage output, we got 16,000 now for Sylvanas. We have 14,000 for Greymane, and a boss is now also about to be taken by Team Hasu. Obviously, they have all the information that they need on the minimap, since they were saying that the keep wall in the mid lane has dropped a lot of the minions, and they could therefore see that there were also a few players on the red team side that were soaking up that experience. So in plain vision, therefore they can take their boss. And that boss shouldn't really do a whole lot. I mean, it's still early, but they're even timing it. So they're trying to get another advantage around the objective now too, sending it onto the bot lane to try pressure the keep wall. And thanks to the delay, they're likely gonna have level 13, so they can try to move in with it and then take it out. So we'll see if they can actually make that work. But all the way up at the top side, yeah, they have to already retreat. This wave at least is going to do a little bit of damage. They also have the camps collide in the middle of the map, but the music is playing down at the bottom. And this is where we're now having Stukov in a position where he can finally rely on his violent reaction. That's of course an added bonus if you are trying to play a sniper composition. They're going again for Mephisto. Divine Shield is out early as the Entomb hits. Blade with a spin to win in the opponent's backline, trying to zone them out a bit and create space for the rest of the team to defend against the boss. It's still early in the game. We're only 9 minutes in. Greymane taking a lot of damage. His Ultralisk is already in trouble, but at the same time they make the play for Blade. Sanctification! And here comes the attempt to drop them. The boss is going down. They keep still standing. And that was the whole purpose of this exercise. Here's a decent defense by the red team, but it is not over yet. Hasu is still firing away with Sergeant Hammer, trying to get the damage in. They are attempting to exploit that talent lead that they have right now. Of course, there's still a chance to bring this back. But yeah, look at Hasu, look at Xray. Both of them poking the entire time, trying to take that keep down, exploit the early game advantage. And all of this is happening with only 1 kill in the game. Only a single kill, but they exploit these windows that they have perfectly. And now, even before the 10-minute mark, we have the first keep destroyed. Blade, he needs to spin out here. Entomb is in, but yeah, no problem for Sonya. She easily escapes here. No issue at all. But that bot lane is going to be a huge problem as the game continues. And here comes the kill against Leo. Nicely done. A quick collapse on the target, and they get a second one too as they drop both of the frontliners. That is the move of Team Xray to get back into the game. But the question is simply, did they already lose too much? They come in for Death Knight, and they're going to drop him too. Maybe even a kill against Hasu. Oh, he nearly dies. But that's a freebie on the Tribute. The problem is, there's not a whole lot to do on the map. What are you going to do? There's no boss up. There's no camps that you can steal away, really. Only this one on the left side, and that's now already taken. Pushing is going to be tricky. They have to also push out the bot lane. So they are able to take 3 heroes down, and that brings them a bit close and experience, but there's not a lot that can be exploited here. Svamgrotta, can he escape? And the answer is nope. He can delay it a little bit, but that's all there's to it. He dies, and that's a quick kill. Nicely done. Good job. Very well played by Nintori here. And I really like the way that he's playing this right now. Again, keep in mind, he plays with the delay, but already a couple of really good moves by him in this game. 13 talents are available on both sides, but Team Hasu is getting closer to level 16, and they're taking another fort down. They are just able to exploit these situations over and over again, and even thinking about stealing the boss on the other side away, whereas Team Xray is a bit in defense mode right now. They're in a position where they're desperately trying to defend the lanes, make sure that bot lane is not going to become a problem. This tribute spawn is a little bit too far away from them anyway, so they decide that they don't even make a play for it. That level 16 talent is of course another reason why they didn't make a move. We got the Mithril Mace now in, and what's even more important for HasuObs, we now have Giant Killer. And that is a giant problem, pun intended. So the front line is not going to have a fun time now. Next tribute is also going to spawn at the bot lane, but it's all about boss control. Leo is sniffing this one out. Everybody else is sitting at the side, hoping for either rotation or to give some assistance to Leo. But nobody's making a play yet. Instead, they're going for the Bruiser camp. That gives them enough experience to lock in level 16. So now we have Benediction for them. That one was kind of important as well. We have, by the way, the Sword of Justice and the Burning Halo. So didn't go for the Holy Ground here, which would be quite nice if you're going for the boss. But Sanctification is, of course, worth a lot too. So there's quite some tools that they have when they want to go for a boss. And Greymane is still busy at the bottom left. He might be able to make a rotation in time, but here comes the attack. Without Greymane for now, there's the taunt, and there's the Divine Shield on Teriel as he was attacked right away. The boss locked him down. Sanctification saves the day for the red team. Team Xray, they're looking for the kill. Kelvin jumps in with Sylvanas. The boss is attempting to chip into the fight too, but they will have to defend against the boss, and that's a chance for Team Xray to move down to the bottom of the map and take another tribute. And in an ideal world, steal another boss, but I don't really think that's going to happen. Good approach though. Oh, but the taunt! There's nobody here to help Blade! There's nobody! Another slow, and Blade dies. Just as the tribute is there, he wanted a bit too much, he got too greedy, and that was a huge issue now. Yeah, that was a big problem, because now it's a tribute for free. They want to go for the boss as well. Yeah, Hasu already moved back. The boss went through the top fort and is now trying to go for the keep too. But at the bottom of the map, it's a 4 versus 4, and HasuObs is on its way to secure them the numeric advantage. They're still trying to get some damage out, and honestly, Nintori might die here. They take the tribute as well. This isn't as bad for Team Xray as I thought it would be. They're still looking to fight. The problem is they don't have any ults anymore. If they had Sanctification, they would take this one for sure, but they can't do anything about it now, especially since HasuObs just joined the fun. And off we go. 3-3 kills, 17 to 16 the levels. The boss at the bot lane. This one will go for core, by the way. So that's going to be a problem in and of itself. They have to defend. They have to get some kills early, or they're going to be in a huge problem. Now they go for the camp. They at least get that. Blade comes in again. The N2 misses. Unfortunate for Nintori, but there's a follow-up from Backhold. They go for the taunt, and the Sanctification saves the day. They get the kill against Varian, and they're trying to drop Hasu. And Hasu escapes. The skin on his teeth. But the boss is already on the core. They're not giving up here. No, they're not. Instead, Death Knight gets attacked. If they can get the support, that would just be the dream. Boss is not going to do too much. We're only 14 minutes into the game. The shield is falling, but the boss is defended. HasuObs is firing away though, and there's 4 catapults. 4 catapults on the core, and they need to go back to the Nexus first before they can engage, so they're losing HP all over the place. They're down to 58. This is only game number 1 of our first Meta Madness series here, but holy smokes, what a setup there. Now we got 43,000 damage for Sylvanas, 46,000 for Sergeant Hammer. It's a potential curse. With Varian down, that's a curse. The question is, how much damage can they do? They need to do damage, especially at the bot lane, so that they have some counter catapult spawning. Now at least with the curse on, those waves are not gonna do a whole lot, but that's also a bit of experience lost, so that's the flip side of the coin here. They're trying to make a play in the middle. They're starting to take them some structures down, but things are still really bad for Team Xray. Losing this much HP on the core is a big problem. So right now they're looking for another kill, and Nintori! He survives! Oh, Spray Game and Dance are on point. Leo is alive, ladies and gentlemen, but he still has to back, of course, and go back to the Nexus in order to get his hit points back. Nearly level 20 for Team Hasu, and we have Team Xray just breaking through it. Very early Divine Shield, by the way. Not really sure if that one was needed. They obviously want to get a keep here, and they have a good chance of locking this one down. The problem is that they need to do a bit more on the map, and Blade is down. The Sanctification is too late, but the counter kill against Stukov is there. There's the Entomb. Keep is still not down. But at the bottom of the map, I suppose we're gonna have another structure fall sooner rather than later. So they're at least gonna get this one. There's nobody defending it. In the middle, there's not a whole lot happening. But it's gonna be a bit crazy here. So we'll see what they can do. With level 20, I mean, first of all, we have on 20 now the Vigilance, but also Buried Alive. And here we go. There's the setup. Xray, can he escape? He's trying, but he dies. And that is a staggered kill against Tyrael. Big problem. Sonya's going to be back in 15 seconds, but they have to wait another 45 until Tyrael is back. And without 2 frontliners, they cannot save their keep in the middle. Keep goes down, and that is the second keep destroyed. You can really tell that the blue team is thinking about going for the core with only 58% left. That's definitely tempting. But at least for now, they're delaying that move a little bit. You, of course, have to also double check what's the time on the bosses. 6 seconds up at the top, 1 minute and 20 at the bot lane. And they're starting to make the play for boss. If they take this one, it would mean that the top keep gets destroyed too. And then you're so far behind with catapults pushing every single lane that you pretty much have lost the game already, unless you're pulling some insane 5-man wipe-off that allows you to bring this back slowly. So there's that. But off we go. Here's the play. They're trying to at least poke them down a little bit. That doesn't work either. The timings are just working perfectly in this game for Team Hasu. They're playing a fantastic game up to this point. And this is obviously game number 1. And keep in mind, every single hero that you can see in this game is not going to be allowed for picks in game number 2. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how they're going to adjust to this. Right now, Uther going straight into the redemption. It's 20 versus 20. still starting to poke this a little bit further. In comes the play for Blade. Where's the Divine Shield? There it is. Divine Shield and Sanctification being used. That's a problem. They had 2 layers of defense and they used them at the same time. That's going to be an issue. They are trying to defend this, but here comes the taunt. The kill and Mephisto is down. Yeah, the Lord of Hatred is getting dropped, and that is the end, maybe even, of game number 1 in this series. With all 3 keeps gone, the catapults pushing, they are looking to push. Boss is down, and Hasu has to actually pause the game. Normally that means that Ultralisk is dropping, but he seems to still be in play here. Nintori is also still absolutely fine. By the way, Kotorep, for everybody that hasn't caught it yet, on Uther is Skynox. But this could be the end of the game right here. So an interesting 3-2-3 moment. I mean, if that is not a tactical pause, then I actually don't know what is. So right now, they're starting to prepare for play against the core. The boss is already gone, so that's a problem. But as you can tell, we have 54,000 damage for Sylvanas. Not a single death, by the way, on Kelvin. So he played a great game here. But HasuObs on Sergeant Hammer with 66,000 himself. And that's just the beauty of playing with a hero like Sergeant Hammer. If you have a good defense at the front, Hasu is going to do damage all day long. Now there's going to be another tribute up. There's also a boss, by the way. So if they feel that they cannot push this without the boss, then they can fall back and take the boss at the bottom map. But they're looking for another kill, and they get the taunt. There's the follow-up, and that's a kill against Teriel. This just has to be game. With 2 heroes gone, the front line diminished, only Sonya mailing it up. There's no way. Another taunt, another kill. This is game number 1 as Team Hasu takes the lead in the best of 3 series in the group stage at Meta Madness. GG. Well played.
Before we head into game number 2, make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet so you don't miss out on any future content here on Khaldor TV.
Game number 2. Let's go, everybody. We have the second map coming up. Infernal Shrines is our second map. Team Hasu is in the lead. Okay, so this should be good. Team Xray. They had some trouble getting into the last map, but of course now there's going to be a lot more heroes banned, since the 10 heroes that we saw on the last map are not going to be available anymore for this game. So, let's have a look and check out what's going to happen here. The first hero that gets banned is a Junkrat. I'm of course going to keep track of all the bans for the upcoming maps as well. But yeah, it's going to be interesting because now we have 23 heroes that are banned. And I also have to put this out because I think this is something that people will misunderstand a bit. For the group stage, we have 13 heroes pre-banned before a game even starts. I listed them earlier. But when we're heading into the main event, there will be more heroes pre-banned. So the process is still ongoing. There's going to be a maximum of 25 that can be banned out there. For now, we have Deathwing eliminated. Hoggar also banned out on most maps, but especially on Infernal Shrines. He's, of course, absolutely nuts. So he gets banned here immediately. And at the same time, with the ban on Junkrat, you know, there's not this outside poke anymore. And teams have to now really think about what they want to do. With 23 heroes being banned, you still have a lot of heroes that you can pick from. You can build proper compositions, but you have to be a little bit more careful of what you're drafting out there. And I guess that's also a good point to just still highlight that this isn't supposed to be a total clown fiesta. This is trying to push the envelope a little bit, but also making sure that we are gonna have games that still have competitive integrity. So ETC, if it comes to a third map, would now not be available on the third map either. And yeah, with this system, if we're heading into map number 3, if Team Xray can decide this one in their favor, it would mean that for the next map, 33 heroes are already banned. So yeah, pretty bonkers, honestly, but we'll see. Tychus, okay, so he gets taken, and Deckard Cain. Alrighty, so Deckard Cain is in, and we got with Tychus also some decent damage. And Tychus, of course, has also the added advantage that you can use Odin in those games, which means that if you are roughly on 20 points on the objective and you drop Odin, that normally secures you the position. Alexstrasza is in a similar position though, so if they want to have a support and are willing to go into Alexstrasza, which we've seen a little bit more often now, they can pretty much counterplay that with the Dragon Queen. Maiev gets taken. Kind of interesting to also see that it's not Ultralisk this time that plays Maiev. He was probably itching to play the hero here, but Kelvin takes it away. Blade on Blaze, we've seen it a lot there, and that's already a really cool front line that they're now playing on Infernal Shrines. Game 1 didn't really work out, and honestly, in Game 1, one of the coolest things was really HasuObs' team exploiting the tiny windows that they had. Half a level lead at level 10, a talent advantage on 13, a boss that they could pick up, and all of these things added up so well. So it was really like clockwork, how they exploited every advantage that they got, and then were able to take the game because of that. Couple of moments where it seemed like Team Xray could bring it back, but it then didn't quite work out. Now Malfurion gets banned out too. Always gotta think a little bit which supports are still there. That could be a thing. Malthael also eliminated. If you're already playing with 3 frontliners here and you have Tychus on the other side, Malthael becomes someone you don't want to go up against. Tormented Souls can be played on Infernal Shrines. You can also, of course, then playing with Last Rites, allow for Tychus to get the bigger they are on 4, burn the target down, and then drop the ult from Malthael. But let's see what else we're gonna get from the blue team. What are logging in first? They still need their frontline, as you can see. And also haven't picked the side laner yet. So double melee, triple melee. And also Rexa again. I was honestly expecting Rexa to be picked in the last game initially by Hasu, but not so much. And now we have Garrosh as the main tank for them too. So yeah, Garrosh is also getting taken. Bit curious to see what exactly Nintori is going to play. Right now he's sitting on Garrosh, but I assume that Backward is going to take over on that account. But Nintori played really well on the last map. I was honestly surprised. He didn't really have to seem any issues with the ping. Let's see. Okay, Karazim. Karazim is our pick for support. And then, of course, we got Coffin Girl as our last one for the damage for them. So, yeah. Coffin Girl is in, and that keeps us in play with our last pick for the blue team. Yeah, solid composition that we have for Team Xray. Can they bring it back? We're gonna find out. Karazim with the 7-sided might be really nice for them if they can drop the target into the back line with Maiev, for example. And here comes Kel'Thas. I like it. Salami. Ashalanor. Alright, Infernal Shrines, we get Kel'Thas, so we're already a little bit out there. Let's see if it comes to a 3rd map in this series, or instead, if we're going to head straight into a 2-0 and therefore into the next match of the group stage. Infernal Shrines, everybody! Team Xray against Team HasuObs. Game number 2! Let's go! We got Kel'Thas in, we have Maiev, we have Coffin Girl, and it is the 2nd game in the best of 3 series. Our first match in Meta Madness in Group A. Where HasuObs is playing Tychus, we got Ultralisk on Kel'Thas, Backward on Garrosh, Tracer, aka Nintori, on Rexa, and Death Knight is playing Deckard Cain. On the right side of the map, Blade on Blaze, Xray on ETC, Kelvin is playing Maiev, we have Svamgrota on Orphea, and Kotorep, aka Skynox, on Karazim. Let's go. HasuObs' team, they were able to decide game 1 in their favor, and now the big question is, can they make this a 2-0, or are we going to game number 3 today? Grenade build for Tychus. We've seen, of course, a couple of changes with the hero with the recent patches. I think he was affected in the last 3 patches, if I'm not mistaken. We started with Press the Advantage, which gave him the much-needed range increase, but then afterwards Blizzard decided that they also want to buff the Grenade build a little bit, and that resulted in the Nade build becoming probably the most common one these days. But of course, at the same time, there's also still some auto attack styles that we are seeing occasionally from players. Either way, as this one starts out, there's a bit of an attack at the top side as Blade gets murdered here. They're trying to go... Oh, good idea. Trying to stun him out in the range of the towers, but it didn't quite work for Blade. But the attack was also neat. If they could body block maybe a bit more with Nisha, then that could have been a kill. But talking about kills, seems like down here, Svamgrota is currently showing Ultralisk how mages are being played, dropping quite a bit of damage onto our Fire Mage. Yeah, and we have got a lot of quest talents. So we have the new habits for Blaze, he wants the unstoppable frames. We have also the proc rock for ETC, both of them looking to grab some additional health globes. Backhold is anchoring the play here, making sure that nobody is moving in, and the team is going for the first camp. There's 2 Khaldor camps that have already been claimed, and as usual, we have at the bottom of the map the 3rd one that can still be contested if they want to. But it seems that, at least for now, Team Hasu is willing to let this one slide and not making a play here. You still have Tychus in the middle. Ultralisk is double checking what's going on, and now they start the rotation. Can they make it in time though? That's the question. There's the gravity lapse. They try to go for the play. Backhold comes in, gets attacked. The power slide is there. They're attempting to steal it. It's a 4 versus 3. Kelvin is a bit too late. And a nice steal of Team Hasu. They come in and just simply take the camp. Well done by them. Level 4 talents are also ready, which in this case gives us the bigger they are. With that front line, we can burn them down very quickly. Follow up. Potion of shielding is also out. Follow up with even another CC thanks to the level 4 talent here with another win. So that one is obviously kind of neat. You have the extra range in particular, which is super useful if you're trying to keep yourself in the back, but can follow up on a pre-stun. Yeah, now the first objective is getting announced, which means that the teams are making their play for the Shaman camp. Since the objective is spawning at the bottom of the map this time, you of course have to try and make this happen as quickly as possible so that the top lane is pushing. And at the bottom of the map, it's party time. Backhold and Svangrota are currently already getting those waves taken out. The ideal situation would be a level 7, right? You want to try and take a lead in experience, get the early level 7, and use the advantage to claim the first Punisher. That's why we have the offlaner still up at the top, trying to deal with the Shaman camps and also getting some additional experience for the team. But so far, the position has been taken by Team Xray. Red team is a bit more aggressive on the point, fighting for this one, the Arcane Punisher. It's going to be the first one in the game. With Ultralisk, there's a nice tether, the slide, well done, but they just can't get the damage in. Backhold is suffering a bit, and a beautiful, beautiful gravity lapse, but Ultralisk nearly dies to Karazim, who dives in and wants the kill. Now the fountains are all up, and that's what they're focusing on the most. We don't have a level 10 yet, so there is no Odin for Tychus, but with 24 stacks to their name, Team Xray is looking quite solid here. The offlaners have also started to move in, level 7 talents on both sides now, as they are still trying to fight this one out, but Team Hasu is starting to close the gap a little bit. The follow-up is there, good CC, but what a stun from Blade, and that's the end of Kelthas. No more salami for him. Yeah, he can Arshalan over 6 days of Sunday, but not anymore today. Here comes the kill against Maiev, but the counter kill against Deckard Cain. Blow for blow between the two. And Blade goes down to you, but it's only 2 stacks missing for the Punisher. And they take it. I mean, honestly, technically speaking, they could have even delayed it a bit more and waited for someone else to come back. But now there's a push through the bot lane that they won't be able to... I mean, they won't be able to do too much here, I suppose. Hasu... that didn't work. He's trying to bait it over, but he's low. And yeah, spray game is on point. The bait game wasn't. Obviously, Svangrota alone can't do much more than just like ride around on his majestic cock and then retreat here. Yeah, that's pretty much it. The wall is down, that's all that you can accomplish. But again, that's already more than enough. 3 kills to 2. And job well done. I like it. Both of the games, we had some aggressive setups. Now we got 10 and 11 stacks on the 2 Globe Heroes for Team Xray. Team Hasu is, of course, also going for the stacks again. And especially for Kelthas, it's going to be important that he's going to get the Mana Addict completed in time. Preferably, you want to have that before level 10 hits. I've seen this, by the way, before. But maybe a different outcome this time. Backhold is about to go down. Maiev! Oh, Maiev is dead. They try to at least take HasuObs down. He's low in mana, Backhold low in HP, but they get the kill against the old man instead. Deckard Cain is down. Team Xray bullying the Boomer. And that's the end of the support. 10 is in play for both, and Blade makes it out. We got the Phoenix in, 7-sided, and well, there's a chance for it, and boom! Down goes Garrosh. Garrosh eliminated, and all of a sudden Team Xray starting to pick up kills here. I like it. Yeah, well, we got the Crushing Jaws in, we got the Warden's Cage, there's of course also the Mosh Pit for ETC. He was always a party animal, and he's trying to bring the beat here. But now that they're dumm gelaufen, Xray moves straight through the range of the fort to join up with the team here. Not that it really mattered. It's not like he lost a ton of HP or anything, and especially with the support still around, they have no problem. But in an ideal world, they would have, of course, tried to take the fort down. But instead, they're going for a trap. They're trying to go for the Admiral Akbar move over here. Also, ooh, there's an attack topside. Blaze in trouble, and yep, There it is able to make it out. Good for him. Honestly, you don't want to be caught in that situation. And it's still close. I mean, take a look at the kills, for example. It's 4 kills against 4. We have even experience. We can take a closer look at that too, by the way. So right now, minion experience is actually heavily ahead for the red team, given where we are in the game. But they have not done as well on other fronts. They have still a slight lead, though. 8,000 XP for Rexa, sitting on those side lanes. And Intori is playing a great game here. And honestly, for Intori, it must also feel good. He's one of the few NA players that were picked by the European players. There were not a lot of NA players that applied to be added to the player pool in the first place. But amongst those that have, Intori is one of the few that was taken. So HasuObs drafting him really shows a lot of confidence in Intori's abilities to really bring the pain here. And they are heading straight into the next objective now. The problem for Hasu's team is that this time Team Xray has a slight advantage. It's not a huge one, but this little lead that they have can give them the earlier level 13 talent, and this might just be enough to secure them another Punisher or maybe get a kill. Ultralis completed his level 1 quest, which is hugely important, so now he has a bit more survivability thanks to the shield. And ETC isn't done yet. He needs one more. At least the new habits have been completed, so that's good for Blaze, since he will have the unstoppable frames. But here comes Odin. Yeah, Hasu using it early on 13 stacks towards the objective. So they're going to try and take this. But here comes the fight. They're sliding in. They want to go for Garrosh. 7-sided mosh pit. He walked right into it, but he gets out. The 7-sided damage gets split between multiple heroes. 25 to 23 stacks right now. Blaze already used the bunker too. Living Bomb, they're dodging out on it, but everybody's low. The entire team on Team Xray side is low. They don't have hit points anymore. They are ahead on the objective, but can they take it? There's the flip, there's the kill. Kerosene is down 38 to 32, and they take it. They take it. The quest is completed, but they might lose Xray. ETC is low. Maiev falls. So does ETC. Another objective that gets claimed by Team Xray, but they won't be able to do a whole lot of work with it. Alright. Neo Steel coding is in. We also on 13 now have the spell shield. A little bit of a jump in front of the wall here. They're still going for Svamgrotta, but what a game. 7 kills to 4 now. Nicely done by Team Hasu, but they did not get the objective itself. And of course the Punisher can still do some damage. It's a frozen Punisher too. So yeah, fighting it out with Ultralis, and the Fire Mage is sitting there. It's like, I hate ice. Sits there, tries to rush away. Top side, Blade gets some assistance as everybody was trying to go for him. But yeah, what a game already. Ophia is the only one on the red team side that hasn't died yet. Coffin Girl is the only hero that hasn't fallen yet. And now the move down to the bottom of the map, I suppose, as they're starting to push the fort a little bit further. 16 talents is also the next thing that you want. You want to take the camps now. All 3 are up because our camps are available at the bottom of the map. And here we go, Tracer. Oh my god, Kelvin. What a setup. And he takes the kill. Rexa is down. The man with the mask has been eliminated. Yeah, and up at the top, Hasu trying to take Blade down, but he gets away too. Now the problem for Hasu's team is that with the death of Rexa, it means that they just don't have the numbers at the bottom of the map to go for the camps. So this time they're actually starting to lose out on it. Vision has been granted, which means that the fountain is down. So that's already a nice play. Always cool if you can take the opponent's Khaldor camp away. You just provide with some abilities. Uh-oh. ETC, no! ETC, what did you do? He used the power slide aggressively and was punished for it immediately. Committing Sudoku in that situation doesn't really do anything for Team Xray. No. I mean, if ETC didn't commit Subaru over here, then I think they could have maybe, yeah, I don't know, taken another cam, maybe even push one of the structures. They could definitely have tried to hold on to the bot lane now. But instead, we have Team Hasu pushing in and exploiting that lead again. Now, of course, it's 16 versus 16. That gives us the cleansing touch finally. That's a huge tool for Xray that he can use from here on out. But again... Oh, sorry, for Kerosene. But here comes the play. They're starting out back hold, careful, tether, cage, all in. Where's the 7-sided? There it is! And no! fucking way! What? He gets out? Are you kidding me? And now we have 2 kills thanks to Khaldor. Oh my god. Unbelievable. A triple kill. Jesus, they get played? No, they don't. But check this out again. Have a look at this. He dies. They spread the bomb, and that's a double kill. They follow up with a 3rd one, and Hasu's team with 11 kills to 5 is now looking fantastic here. Damn. Oh my god. Honestly, it really looked like they could take Garrosh down, but the opposite happened. Instead of dropping the frontliner, they lose 3. Now, they are still on the same talent. So that's the big one. They are still on the same talent, but they lost the bot fort, they lost the fountain in the middle, which means that they have no tap option any longer. But for the blue team, there is still a fountain at the bottom fort. So that's huge. You have the same talent. You can make the play. Cooldowns, that's a different thing. That's a different issue. The cage on another 25 seconds, this is going to be very rough for Xray's team. They had some decent positions earlier, but look how aggressive they are now. They know that they need to do something. Hasu pops his own ult at 17 towards the objective. They are looking at a great spot with Phoenix being used to zone them out even further. All the R buttons are getting pressed here. Team Hasu turns into a 5-man team of pirates. And everybody is just, yeah, dropping whatever ability they have. And that's, of course, the first objective for them in this game. Yeah, that switched quickly. 11 kills to 5, and that's Team Xray once again on the defensive, dancing around a little bit in anticipation of the push. There's another camp that gets taken now too, so they're trying to take this one away. But yeah, it's kind of bonkers at this point. Yeah, and really, really good setups too. 44,000 here from Hasu himself. Good damage output. Ophia just can't keep up with that. Khaldor on 32. Good gravity lapses in the game that they could always follow up on. And here comes the push. Now they're trying to also prepare for the later stage of the game by pushing the top lane out, but that keep at the bottom of the map is in... Yeah, that one's down. I was about to say trouble, but let's be honest, that's not trouble. That's just a death sentence that was already pushed on you. So the keep is gone. At least the top fort should be eliminated. Maybe not even that. They're still trying to chase here. They are 1.5 levels behind now, so you're doing what you can. Bit of a slow. They are attempting to make a play for backhold, but Rexa's ult slows them down as well. And yeah, this is rough. This is really rough now. Yeah, this thing is also not destroyed, so it seems like they are going to be able to hold on to that for a bit longer, but now it's time to play super aggressive. Team Xray, again, they have to play aggressive. They are now more than a level behind. They don't want the opponent to get level 20, because they know that once that's the case, the map belongs to Team Hasu more than it does already, up to the point where they can get their own Storm Tower. So the only way how you can play around this is you play super aggressive. You try to force fights, you try to force a battle before your opponent has a talent advantage that allows you to take some of those camps away, that gives you experience, it might help you to close the gap a little bit, and the blue team then has to make a decision and has to simply say, okay, what are we going to do? Do we fight the fight and then maybe lose the advantage? Or do we instead just simply wait it out? Backhold gets attacked again. Can they finally drop him? Mosh pit. They're going for Rexa and Backhold dies. He's killable after all. He's not indestructible. Lay down here. Oh, the second kill. Death Knight is down. That's the end of the old man. The old geezer is dropped, and now they steal the camps away. This is the moment where, if you are the red team, you need to work on that comeback. You need to make some plays. You're still behind in experience, but you have a 30-40 second window where you can do work. And that's exactly what they're doing. They go for the fort, they take it down, they can take the opponent's shaman camp away, they have their own that they can still claim, and they can move through the lanes now. In an ideal world, you would try to get another kill, but nobody on Hasu's team is going to play so aggressive as to move out and allow them to make that move. Then again, taking a couple of the forts down, that is already worth a lot. There's the 20, and just look how quickly Xray's team is now able to close the gap. Xray himself aggressively moving in, hoping to lock down Nintori, but Rexa is moving away. They're still able to drop the fort down here. All forts destroyed, and they try to take the fountain too. Might have to move back. Now that everybody is back on the map for Team Hasu, it's going to be a 20 versus 20. They don't want to fight against the talent advantage, so instead they're taking the catapults down first. It might be a comeback moment, everybody. It might be a comeback moment. They are closing in on this. So, yeah, this is getting real close right now. Love it. One cam gets stoned. The Shrine activated in the middle. And he has the 20 talents on both sides now. Vengeance, Shadow Orb taken. We got the Bolt of the Storm, Fortified Bunker, and Transcendence should both be used now by... Yep, there we go. That's the Fortified Bunker. And off we go. Transgression, not Transcendence. He's not going to pick his level 1 talent now. So, yeah, with the Transgression, a couple more hits coming in. But this is, I don't want to say for all the marbles, but not quite there yet. But this is going to be important. Interestingly enough, now Team Xray is in a really good spot. Take, feign death. He's zoning with the mosh pit so that they can take the backline down. Oh, Nitori, he dies, and so does Kelthas. Ashalanor, my ass. Nobody wants your salami, dude. He goes down. That's a double kill. And Team Xray is back to business. Oh my god. What's happening here? This is awesome. I did not think they would be able to come back into it. But with them dropping all the forts, locking in one... This is also a Frozen Punisher. They're crazy strong. So locking this one in should give them a keep, honestly. That is nuts. 50,000 damage for Orphea, 54,000 for Hasu, who still hasn't died, by the way. He's the only one that hasn't fallen yet. But oh boy, this game got real interesting now. 20 seconds until Rexa is back. And here we go. Team Xray, they got a chance now. They got a chance. So they are starting to make their play. Here comes the jump, baited over the wall. Punisher wants a piece of the action. A little bit of party time. Doesn't hit the keep, by the way. But they are so close now. Technically, we are 18, 19 minutes in. They could even try to go for the core here if they can get a kill. Question is, can they? There's the jump. Misha, careful. Needs to be very, very careful here. But off we go. Keep is down, and they fall back. Yeah, they're not playing this too aggressively. Not spreading anything either. There we go. Yeah, I mean, again, you can say about Corona whatever you want, but they are good at social distancing right now. 6, 7, 8 months of practicing that, and all of a sudden having a living bomb against you is not that scary anymore. Keep your distance, everybody. Keep your distance. And Team Xray, in most of the situations at least, was following the rules. So it's all good. Not a lot of damage taken. We're just ignoring the moment earlier where 2 heroes died because of it, but hell, whatever. So now we got 11 kills to 9. Keep down on each side. Forts have been destroyed. And yep, in the meantime, we have the blue team playing very defensive right now. Okay. It's a trap. Backhold. Nobody's moving out. Just look at this. They have no vision. They have no vision, and they know they gotta be cautious. They gotta be very cautious. Yeah. Rexa sitting there. Misha has to be barely careful right now. It would be an absolutely unbearable situation if Misha's pet would now go down. So yeah, it's not impossible for her to get dropped here, so we need to be really careful. Now again, guys, bear with me here for just a second, because I think the Team Hasu, despite the fact that they're now a bit behind, can still turn this around. We've seen some crazy comebacks here, and we could see more. Also, look at the build on the side of Orphea. I haven't even checked that out yet. I haven't really focused on her all that much. But yeah, that is a very single-minded build that we have. Ancestral Strength, the Chaotic Assault, Invasive Miasma, the Dead Magic, and Eldritch Conduit all being taken here. So, yep, there's that. All through. Only exception, the level 7 talent. 21 minutes into the game. 21. That is one long second game. And keep in mind, if we go to game 3, then all the heroes that you have seen in game 1, all the heroes that you've seen in game number 2 will not be available anymore. And all of a sudden you need to be a little bit more careful about what you're picking for your front line and your side laner in particular. So time will tell. They're trying to time this, by the way. Next objective spawns topside, where we still see a fort. Well, it's not really a fort anymore. It's the ruins of what was once a fort, which will soon be... Oh, Xray! There's the slide! The taunt! And Xray gets out! The old man with the stay a while and listen. Nobody wanted to listen to Death Knight's old stories though. He needs to come up with a bit of new material. Everybody already knows those stories, so it's getting a little bit boring at some point. You don't want to listen to the same shit over and over again. And yeah. I mean, as long as you don't pull Amy Schumer and steal someone else's material, it's all going to be fine, but he needs to come up with something else because, yeah, it's just getting a little bit too old. So this time they got Kane not hitting anything here. Now we got, of course, 22 minutes into the game, the Fort Destroy 2, the Shrine is activating, and it's time to party and party hard. Let's go. This is the fight that likely ends the game. And there's catapults in the mid lane already. Oh, Hasu, he hasn't died yet. Oh, they go for Garrosh instead. The mosh pit, dance, baby, dance. There we go. That's a double kill, and they go for the triple. They take all of them down. Easy peasy. That has to be a victory. That has to be game 3. Hasu's about to die too. He goes down. Catapults are sitting in the middle. It's a 5-man team wipe, everybody. They are dropping them. 14 kills to 11, and this is it. They move straight into the mid lane, into the left side, and they're taking the core down. A 1-1. We are going to game number 3 in our first group stage match at Meta Madness. GG, and well played. Towers of Boom, game number 3. I like it. We're going into the 3rd map now, everybody. I am so happy that in the first series we're immediately getting a 3-mapper. Now, of course, as I mentioned, right now there will be 33 heroes banned before you even start into this game, so you won't see any of the heroes that have been played before, and there are the 13 pre-banned heroes. And in addition to that, you're banning out another 6. So that means 39 heroes banned in total for this 3rd map. Things are going to get a little bit crazier for the main event, obviously, since people have the chance to contribute to all of this and make sure that more heroes get banned out. But already for our little warm-up with the group stage, it's kind of cool to see that. Deathwing, as we've seen now multiple times, gets banned. Now that we're on Towers of Doom, we don't want to risk Harrigan either. It's kind of nice. It's a fun setup already. Hogger, yeah, we're not getting a lot of Hogger on these games. I suppose at some point it's going to make it into the draft one way or another, but yeah, there's at least that. Cool comeback, by the way, too, from Team Xray on the last map, so that was kind of neat to see that they could pull this off. And of course, now the question is which team advances to the winners match in the group stage. Whereas our next series is going to be Team Mane versus Team Kidney. Junkrat gets banned again, and with that, we're heading straight into the next, the first pick. Red team this time has a first pick, which is also interesting because that means that Hasu's team decided that they would go and take instead the map. So they really prioritized Towers of Doom as a map over getting first pick, which you don't really see all that often, but again, here it happens. Mirrodin now at the front line. Let's see how they're going to adjust for this one. I would say like the lane or the role where we have the most adjustments will likely be the Bruisers. Now there's plenty of heroes out there that are still good, but the fact alone that you have now a series where every hero can only get played once during the entire series is kind of cool. And here comes Mal'Ganis. And Mal'Ganis is one of those picks that you usually don't see all that often outside of Lauba locking him in, right? I mean, Lauba has always been a huge fan of playing Mal'Ganis here, but now Berghold is looking at what's left and he's just like, well, Nubarak, do we want to play that style? Arthas as a main tank, Cho'Gath? No. So that leaves you with Stitches, Mei, and Mal'Ganis, and he has to make his choice here. That's also why Mirrodin was picked early, why he picked them first, because, yeah, they knew fully well that you're going to have some trouble at the front line if you don't do that now. Dehaka now for the side lane. It's another one of those that you don't see all that often. I mean, lately he pops up a bit more, but he allows you still to play that global game on the map, to really focus on macro. We've seen him a little bit in the CCL, but there's always also the adaptation towards the more North American meta, and also the ping adjustments that we have. Lucio getting banned here. And the air is getting a little bit thinner right now. But it's already a fun setup. Now we got some CC on Dehaka, we got some CC on Mirrodin. If Xray hits a stun, then Dehaka can follow up with the tongue, and all of a sudden you have an opportunity for some serious damage on the target. And of course, let's not forget about Hanzo's arrow too. Okay, easy ban on Malthael now as well. And off we go. What is Nintori gonna play, for example? Side lane is getting a little bit tricky now. You don't have a lot. Thrall, Zul are probably your best options. There's Artanis open, but again, who picks Artanis? Chen is open. Deathwing, Hogger are both banned. Malthael is banned, and that leaves only one. There's Ragnaros. So, it's not that easy anymore. And there it is. Zul gets taken. That was already more or less expected. I mean, I just mentioned him. One of the best options that you definitely have. And Malfurion gets claimed as support. The comps are a bit out there. Heroes that we see, granted. Now we got the Crybaby, so Anduin gets picked. And in addition to that, Genji. Alright. Yeah, he can wind Anduin all day long and talk about how he needs healing. But also, what is Ultralisk now going to... Oh, Kira! Alright. Kira gets picked, and that brings us to game number 3, everybody. So let's jump in. Towers of Doom, the final map in the best of 3 series, our first best of 3 Meta Madness in the group stage, Group A. Let's jump straight into it. Game number 3, let's go! The final map in the best of 3 series, the group stage. So, another series, and again, the beauty is that you see every single hero only played once during a match. And of course, as I said, once we're heading into the final event, there will be very likely a lot more heroes pre-banned, so they will be pushed even further out of their comfort zone. In this game on Towers of Doom, we have on the left side HasuObs on Jimmy, Ultralisk on Kira, Death Knight on Malfurion, Tracer on Zul, and Backhold on Mal'Ganis. Whereas on the right side of the map, Team Xray is playing this with Xray himself on Muradin. We got Blade on Dehaka, Kelvin on Genji, Kodorab aka Skynox on Anduin, and Slamkerota is playing Hanzo. Yeah, in case that you didn't catch it yet, the Tracer account is played by Nintori, our only NA player in the series. And off we go. Early brawl in the middle. Blade gets attacked immediately. Burrow and Anduin with the save. I like it. I feel it's gonna be especially challenging for Backhold, honestly. Mal'Ganis is probably not a hero that he plays all that much compared to others, and with the particular ban pattern that we've seen, the tanks were actually the one role that was banned out quite quickly. I mean, we looked obviously also at our ban sheet, and you have a Nubarak left, which is a dive tank, so you need to have a special composition for him. And very quickly, you had only Stitches, Mei, Shogal is not going to be played here anytime soon, so they were really limited. And I think that could become quite interesting when we have more heroes banned for the main event. As I said previously, now it's 13 that were pre-banned for the group stage. But technically speaking, we could have up to 25 banned out before we're heading into the main event, which is on the 26th and 27th. So just after Christmas. Oh, Kelvin, careful. And Genji is dead. He tried to get out here, but that's the end of him. Goodbye, Genji. Yeah, that's it for him. Okay, so right now, Backhold and his boys are taking the pumpkin cams out. Yeah, that kill allowed them a bit more map control, at least initially here, so I like that. And what else are we gonna get? We have top sides, that's where the Haka is currently sitting tight and doing his thing. And off we go. Setup at the bottom of the map is already kind of fun. I mean, again, we're looking at a lineup where they can try and push in now. As long as they get those pumpkins, they can take the structures down. But this is also the comeback map. I mean, again, from all the maps that we have in Heroes of the Storm, this is the map where you see the craziest comebacks. Late game map control is everything here. And Slamkerota is going down and is probably thinking a lot about that late game comeback potential, because they're losing too many heroes. They get the counter kill in the middle on Zul, so there's that. But now with the level 4 talents, we also get the Sledgehammer, so it's going to be easier to get the baseline completed. That was a good move from Genji. That was not a good move from Xray. Zoning Stormbolt, creating space. But they're destroying the bottom wall. So the bottom wall is slowly being taken down. We have the bold strategy and the inner fire. Yeah, Anduin is going for the bold strategy. I myself prefer the bald strategy. And I'm faring pretty well with that, I have to say. But to each their own. So 2 kills against 1. The triple altar is up. And now it's time for the top left, top right exchange. Or is it? Hello? Well, it's a 2 versus 2 up here. Alright, and Genji decided that he's not going to fight this out. But now we have the shots fired, and they snuck in the second channel. So all of a sudden, it's a lead on the core points for the red team. They got another one. Nicely done. So they're a little bit ahead for now. Stacks are coming in on the level 4 for Zul as well. But of course, we're going to keep our eye on Xray. He's going to be the important one. I'm a little bit torn on his choice to go Sledgehammer on this map, honestly. I'm not sure if that was really the best move here. On Battlefield of Eternity, of course, always an option. But right now, we'll see. He might need a bit more survivability in this. I'm not so certain about it. But he needs all... Well, quest completion is everything. Yeah, Skynox goes down. They go for Xray. And Muradin is also getting murdered. HasuObs' team is coming in with all the momentum here and is punishing them hard. Trying to take the bottom bell tower as quickly as they possibly can. And yeah, as I said, Team Xray, they're going to look at this and they're saying like, hey guys, we need that late game comeback potential or we're going to get murdered over here. This is not an early game that you're going to be happy about. 4 minutes into the game and you're already about to lose the bell tower? That's just nuts. Now Blade is back and here comes Kelvin. Nice, Swift Strike. Neat. Can he take Hasu down? Tactical pause confirmed. Look at this. Hasu about to die, and then he pauses the game. If that's not a 3-2-3 moment, then I don't know what is. Kappa. Now, jokes aside, I mean, he is fine. He was fine when he paused. Kelvin doesn't have any cooldowns, to my knowledge. The only one who could technically try to drop Hasu is Svamgrota right now. And since we don't have heroic abilities yet, there's little that you can do. Now, they find themselves in a spot where they are already retreating, and that means that the red team was actually pushing with 5. Since the Haka moved down, that was also a numbers advantage, but that translates directly into a bit of an experience lead because topside gets pushed out and the Haka will miss out on some of those globes. He's not going to get all of them. Double altar is up, and right now he can take at least this one. I'm a little bit concerned though because level 10 is getting closer and closer and closer for Team Hasu. If they can get it, oh my god, if they, yeah, Muradin jumps out. I was just about to say, if they can get another kill here, whew, that would hurt. Boss is on the map, and they're collapsing on Zul. Nintori is on the run, and the attack against Svamgrota as Ultralisk is coming in with a swing, trying to get some damage in against Svamgrota and dropping Hanzo, but he can't quite make it work. The channel at the bottom of the map is successful. That's 4 shots fired. Well played. Kelvin gets interrupted, and the fight over altar number 2 is still ongoing. Blade dodging out on it again. Careful, the dinosaur is low, and he's extinct again. Hanzo is now coming back, but they're losing Anduin. Ooh, they're getting crushed here. They're getting absolutely crushed. And I have to highlight it again. Meta Madness is pushing people out of their comfort zone, and we see that a little bit. That combo just doesn't really work for them. You know, there's a lot of people that look at these heroes and they are seeing heroes that they have seen in other games, that they have seen drafted, but of course not in these compositions. This is not really a lineup that you normally would go for. And right now, it doesn't work for Team Xray. And because of the Meta Madness rules, you might be forced into a hero that you don't have a lot of experience with, or that you just don't play a whole lot. So even if you technically know how to play the hero, you're just not on a level as you are with your main or with others. And that is kind of telling. 6 kills to 1 show pretty clearly that Team Hasu is doing extremely well here. They have the bottom bell tower now, so that's 5 bell towers to 3, as you can see at the bottom right. Level 10 abilities give them a massive lead. And Team Xray, they have to fall back and play defensive up to the point where they can grab their own. Here comes even the last strike, or the final strike coming in. Dropping a few more hit points of those two. Not killing them, thankfully. But that could have been another big problem. I mean, either way, it's already not a good situation to be in. So now that we have the Haka picking the isolation up, we get also the light bomb for Anduin. I guess Muradin can use that to jump in and be aggressive with it. Dragon Blade as well. And they're getting aggressive. They got to. They're 2 levels behind nearly. You need to close an experience gap. And the only way is to come in and take a couple of kills. It's pretty much the only thing that they can try to do right now. Right, Xray is now starting to move in too. Jackal gets attacked. Okay, careful. And can they reclaim the bell tower? They need to at least try. There comes the drag. They go for it. Malganis. Careful, buddy. They're still trying to poke them out as much as they can here. Poke, poke, poke. 6 days to Sunday. They're trying to do what they can with this and get them low, but they cannot reclaim that bell tower. The attack on the left side then again. We're having at the top right, top left, the two altars. We shouldn't really see a whole lot happening here. Normally it's just an even exchange. But Xray's team decides that they have to take some risks here. They're taking the right side with Blade, but now they're still making a bit of a play for the left side altar. I don't know if that's gonna work for them. Zul committed to his ult, so they're trying to shield HasuObs from any damage. But Kelvin comes in, Xray commits, gets attacked immediately. The arrow connecting beautifully with 2, but they need to get the damage in and they just can't. Blade is low and he goes down. The dwarf is hopping away, going full Gimli on us. But Mal'Ganis is trying to stop him and set the kill up for the rest of the team. It doesn't quite work, but 5 more shots are now fired, dropping the red team down to 22 points on the core. Level 13 talents are now ready, and they are still struggling here. Now again, they're not out of this yet. Late game is everything on Towers of Doom. I keep repeating myself here. But Hasu, they have full control over this one now. And they're still trying. The root on the ground, and Xray survives. One shot comes through as the pumpkin connects with the death zone. And Muradin still falls. Muradin gets dropped by the final strike. Nicely done by Ultralisk. And Dehaka, he is desperately attempting to give them some experience. It's like at the top lane, busy doing what he can. Bot lane pressured even more. Another pumpkin trio is making its way in. And Anduin is the only one currently dealing with it. And yep, the backstreet boy of the Heroes of the Storm, Nexus, is not going to be able to do anything here. He is useless in a fight if he's on his own. High risk, high rewards play, and it doesn't work out. Swamgrota trying to zone them. Talking about zoning, Xray is attempting to make sure that nobody gets flanked here. I mean, he connects the drag. The question is what are they going to do with it. Nintori is a bit low, and of course Anduin in this situation is actually helpful. Comes through, immediately pulls them out, but 8 kills to 1, and we have another single altar spawning on the map. Quest isn't completed for Xray either, so Muradin is at 19 stacks on the baseline. He wants to have the cooldown reduction. He wants to have that pierce, but he just doesn't yet. And it should be a freebie altar at the bot lane, because without your bell tower control on the right side, there's no fallback option. You're not going to see them move through the middle just to arrive here and then fight a fight where they can never disengage. So Death Knight gets the free channel. That's another 5 shots fired. They're trying to poke this out. Core takes damage down to 12, and they're finally retaking the bell tower. Now, 29 points to 12, that is still manageable if you start to take some kills in the late game. But they still have to do this. And that's what we're seeing here. Isolation. Maybe that's it. Where's the arrow when you need it? Light bomb. Nice. The setup is there. The arrow connected too, but they need to get kills. And instead, Genji is in trouble. He needs healing, but he goes down. They go for Swamgrota. Kira dies. The quest completed. Hanzo is dropped. And everybody else is hopping out of the fight, at least trying to. Anduin does what he does best. He's running away. Dehaka is also attempting to move back. Team Xray, they go for the French defense here. Oh, but Anduin, careful. Nah, the root. Malfurion laying down the lawn here. They want him, but they just can't get him. Another Stormbolt saves him for now. Well done. They really wanted his ass, didn't they? They couldn't make anything happen. They're still trying to make a play for the Haka, though. I mean, keep in mind, this is a 4 versus 4 once the Genji is back to business. For now, they're fighting a 3 versus 4. That's definitely not in their favor. So, Xray, Anduin, they might get him now, and indeed they do. Anduin is down. HasuObs, unbelievable. He's alive. He's alive, and the Haka is dead. And here comes a kill against Hasu, finally. Oh my god, there's slaughter! What a slaughter all of a sudden. What is happening here? Genji makes it out because of Hanzo. The Shimada brothers, baby. Not even the last strike could do anything about it. Check this out. Anduin down, Dehaka down, a total bloodbath. They turn Towers of Doom into a graveyard. 16 talent advantage now. That play was all over the place. But yeah, spray game is on point. 4 shots get fired. Bam! Triple altar phase. That's what they do. Very good. The drag connected. Can they get the kill? Hello? Yeah, they're close, but they can't quite. Now, they're still making a play for I was about to say Tracer, but of course we're talking about Nintori here. And, well, tactical pause number 3 confirmed. Back ult low. Nintori is low, and the Haka is already sitting at the side here. HasuObs is coming in to interrupt him. Is that the moment when they slowly bring it back? Now, let's not forget that there's no level 16 ready for Team Xray. They're still fighting with a talent disadvantage. But with two of the heroes being this low, and them having most of their HP at, well, pretty much full, Mirrodin also coming back, that's a huge opportunity to not only get the altar, but then maybe push a bit more. They're down to single digits. They're currently sitting at 8 points. But if they can use this to not only claim the altar, but maybe push through some structures, that would be a good start. Even if it just helps them to get level 16. That helps them to fight on eye level with the opponent from here on out. And if they can get a kill, I mean, Malfurion is dead right now, but if they can get a kill, that could be boss. Because they have to remove the boss too. That's the next problem. If the boss is going to be up the entire time, then how are you going to play this out? You need to take the boss off the map at some point, or you're going to be put into some kind of pincer move, into a checkmate. And that's not really where you want to be. The Banshee! Hasu with the Banshee control, pissing everybody off here. There's the drag. Is that a kill? Backward, low. So is Blade though. And they just can't get it. No! That's 4 points. They're down to 4 points. The boss would end the game. Now even more so than before, the need to go for the boss and take it down. Genji gets saved by Anduin. Oh, yeah, he's still alive. Are they going for it? They actually do. They got their ults ready, they got Tranquility, they make the play. Genji needs to come back, and he needs to come back quickly. This could be it. This could bring Team Hasu to the winner's match in Group A. Yeah, there's the arrow. Okay, they're jumping in. They want the kill. They're going for the play. Light bomb with Genji. Ultralisk, he's low, but the Tranquility of Malfurion keeps them alive. Yeah, well done. A lot of ults baited out in that last fight. A lot of minions at the top, by the way. Team? I mean, the fountain gets attacked first, but if not, then this might fall. Not really important right now, but it could become important at some point. Not if the Haka dies, though. The Haka down, they make a play for Xray. That's another kill. That should be game. If they can save Mal'Ganis, this should be game. Top 4 or no top 4. Now it's time to go for the boss, and that's the opportunity. That's the one moment. That's what can end this series. Ultralisk makes it out with 100 hit points. You're kidding me, right? But look at Backhold. Look at Hasu, they're all low. This poke is getting crazy. So, they can't go for the boss. They want to, but they couldn't. Kinda interesting. 4 to 25. Now, kills is not looking too great. I mean, think about this for a second. It's 15 kills to 4, right? So you would assume that Team Hasu is just miles and miles and miles ahead and can easily now win this in a 5 versus 3 situation. But think again, they can't. Single ult on the map. Big arrow! Hasu! The trade kicking in! And they can't go for the play. Hanzo, Svamgrota, he's down. Genji wants to avenge his brother, but it's not happening. That has to be game finally. Well, actually, is he getting the channel? No, he's not. And now Genji is about to die. He swift strikes out, but they're going for a double channel. The isolation is there. Xray is doing what he can. Hits the Stormbolt, connects it. Same time, Kelvin is about to be taken out. Hasu wants the kill. He gets it. And over here, the fight still continues. They're trying to go for Anduin, and they drop him too. This just has to be game right now. I mean, this is impossible to hold. You only have your frontliners there. Hasu is going for the channel, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is the end of series number 1. Mirrodin goes down, and that's the core. Team Hasu with a 2-1 victory in the first match of Meta Madness.